The President of the Senate, Stephen Parry, has become the 8th politician in the current parliament to have fallen foul of the Constitution. He's a British dual citizen who'll hand in his resignation to the Governor-General tomorrow, triggering a High Court order for his replacement. Here's political editor Andrew Probyn.
It's all over now?
It isn't over. The Chief Justice is seeing off Parliament's dual citizens one by one.
Your Honour. Senator, thank you very much.
Stephen Parry, the Senate President, was told by the British Home Office earlier today that he's a POM by descent, and he's shown himself the door, resigning as a Tasmanian senator.
This isn't a government, it's a soap opera.
Stephen Parry is the 7th senator to be disqualified since last year's election. His constitutional sin was not renouncing citizenship rights that flowed from his dad, who arrived from Britain 66 years ago. He left with a lament from Abraham Lincoln that I claim not to have controlled events, but confess plainly that events have controlled me.
Strange turn of events.
But one man's catastrophe is another man's unexpected salvation. Richard Colbeck, a former minister and Malcolm Turnbull ally, is destined to resume life amongst the red leather after having his career ended by a factional war with Eric Abetz.
Eric is a professional. He's very good at what he does, and I have enormous respect for him.
There are now growing calls for an audit of all parliamentarians to assess their constitutional eligibility.
There's a protection racket that's going on between the major parties. The consequences and implications of this is going to, I think, rock them to their foundations.
Every person has a responsibility to ensure they're eligible.
An audit would undoubtedly throw up more suspect cases and cause more by-elections. But there's no guarantee that any of those contests would be as comfortable as Barnaby Joyce's campaign appears to be, reclaiming his seat for the Nationals. Polling seen by the ABC, taken early last month in the seat of New England, shows Barnaby Joyce's primary vote was 40 points clear of his nearest rival, Tony Windsor, who has since balked. Everyone else was uncompetitive. But the polling for the National Party also measured political personalities. Bill Shorten is unpopular in New England, perhaps unsurprising given the seat's profile. Malcolm Turnbull fares much better. Mr Windsor and Pauline Hanson rate negatively. Mr Joyce is a clear local favourite. And once the dust clears, the hot tip is that Richard Colbeck will be restored to the ministry. Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.